Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out TowerFall Ascension, or at least what little there is for people who play single player, because for those of you who don't know me very well, you might not know me very well if you don't watch many of my videos, but nonetheless, I'm a single player gamer, mostly. I mean, I'll play multiplayer if it's a good set of multiplayer, like the amount of hours I put into Battlefield 4 and Advanced Warfare is insane, but there are the majority of times where I want to just sit down and play a game by myself, enjoy myself, and feel like I've made some real progress and stuff, instead of playing the same sort of maps and the same sort of things over and over again. So, I tend to play single player a lot. Unfortunately, TowerFall doesn't really seem to have much in the way of that. I will show off what it does have, but the main part of this game seems to be the versus mode, and the unfortunate thing about the versus mode is that it's only got ad hoc mode. There's no online mode to speak of, and unless you want to play with the PS4 version by means of like remote playing with this one and then using the controller on the PS4 as a second player, you can't really play with the PS4 version either, which is really a shame because you'd think that would be the best way to do things, but no, unfortunately it's not. So you can't play versus with anyone except people you've got next to you, which is a real shame because I don't have anyone next to me because I have no friends. If we go have a look at the options real quick, everything here is really, reasonable. It might be worth turning off the flash effects and possibly the wave effects because they tend to have some effects on the performance, but we'll get into that later on. So, we've got the archives, which give you all your stats. And there are a lot of stats, admittedly. There's a lot of stats and a fair few lessons and stuff like that, but nothing too important. So, we've got two modes that can be played in single player mode. The first is the co-op mode. There is a Dark World Quest mode, or co-op mode I should say, but it's... yeah, I don't have Dark World, I only have TowerFall because I got it on PlayStation Plus a few months ago and it's cross-buy, so... you have a bunch of different characters, including the Vainglorious Ghoul, who unfortunately is Dark World exclusive. He's the most interesting character here too, so it's really annoying, because I went to pick him and it just said immediately, you need the Dark World expansion, but yeah. All these characters have different stats and their arrows behave differently. I prefer the Turncloak Soldier personally, so I'm going to go with him. And I've unlocked 3 areas at the moment. I've only been playing for about 20 to 30 minutes, but frankly, you don't need much else to see what else this game has. So, we're just going to play Backfire, because why not? You've got normal and hardcore difficulties, and I believe there's also a third set of difficulties that you probably unlock by beating hardcore. So this is TowerFall Ascension. The idea is you run and you jump, and you can also dodge to get out of the way of things. And oddly enough, you are actually capable of... ow! You are actually capable of Goomba stomping on things to get them to go away. But the main method of attack in this game is using arrows. And arrows are limited in supply, and when you fire them, you have to go pick them back up, which is a little bit of a weird necessity, but considering this game's usually a multiplayer title, it actually makes some sort of sense, because you can't just be firing arrows everywhere forever. And this is the co-op mode, or I prefer calling it the quest mode, because the quest mode makes a little bit more sense to me, but whatever. So, the game has several of these co-op stages, and you have a few waves in all of them, up to... actually, I haven't really played that many, so I don't know how many it goes up to, but I've seen up to 7 at this point. And the idea is you've got a bunch of enemies in every stage, in every wave, I should say, and you have to kill all of them. And my ass got set on fire there, but I didn't die, which is rather convenient. But yeah, if you kill... shit. I was trying to jump above him, but just could not get it, because these ghost bastards are annoying as hell, unless you're literally right next to them. Ow! Unless you're literally right next to the ghost bastards, you will not be able to hit them with a shot of an arrow. See that? That's just fucking annoying, honestly. But yeah, you need to kill every enemy in the wave to successfully pass this the co-op stage. And there are extra stages and all that, and you can play these with more than one person, so if you do have a friend that you can play with, well, you can play TowerFall Ascension with them. It's something that isn't completely adversarial. Which is nice. It's just... I feel like this could be expanded out into something a tiny bit more interesting. Like, I could imagine an endless mode of this. God damn it, just missed the top of his head. I could imagine an endless mode of this, where there are like variables that are constantly changing, like stage layouts. Fuck me. Like stage layouts and what's the word I'm looking for? Just variables and pickups and items and rewards and customizability, and it just seems a bit lightweight considering the game has a lot of potential for it. But as the developers said, they have designed it mainly around the idea of being a multiplayer game, but I have to admit, I really would have liked to see a little bit of initiative in making a bit of single-player content. It's a little bit disappointing, honestly. Okay, here comes the final wave. The final wave usually does something really weird. Like, at this point here, it does what is basically slow motion, but they're sending in so many enemies at once that it's pretty understandable why they decided to do that. Like, see, I just lost my shield there, and I have 5 lives to start with, and if you run out of lives, that's pretty much it. Game's over, you're done. You have to start from the beginning. And I will admit, it is an interesting mode. It's just... the stages only last 5 minutes, and there's like 8 of them, and unless you're really into TowerFall, you probably aren't going to end up playing these for more than a little bit. I am slightly disappointed, but... yep, that's it. I'm done. So, I'm slightly disappointed by the game's single-player offering. There is another thing, though, which we will go and have a look at. If we go to the trials, there are 3 for every stage, including the Dark World stuff. And if we just pick one, there are a bunch of targets on the field. And the idea is we have to kill all of them as fast as possible. You can see my time up in the top right there. Same rules apply. You gotta go collect all your arrows once you fire them. There are also pickups you can get, like those angel wings that I just got. And you just have to try and get as fast a time as possible, but there's no online leaderboards. There's really no point. I mean, you can, if you are going for something along the lines of... bloody hell. Ow! Did I just kill myself? Yep, didn't know I could do that. Never mind. But if you wanted to just, you know, compete with people online to get the best time, you'd have to go look up their times, which is honestly a little bit disappointing. But yeah, as you can see here, the arrows are all slightly... shit! Okay, that'll kill me. But yeah, as you can see, the game's... you can see the game's set of maps, which is... the game is a very nice looking game, runs quite well, but there are some weird problems where the game will just tend to, like, stop out of bloody nowhere for no discernible reason. It's weird. Like, it'll just stop dead. Like, I'm gonna try and actually get a good time on this trial, just for the purpose of demonstration. Nope. Nope, I'm really not good at this. Could be worse. I got the gold medal. Yeah, it would be nice to see a online leaderboard for this mode. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all you get in TowerFall if you plan on playing single player. It's a little bit disappointing, honestly. I was hoping for more. But then again, I really wasn't, because I already knew that this is all the game had. It's a little bit disappointing that they didn't turn, like, this co-op wave defense mode into something a little bit more interesting. Like, there could have been so many things you could have done with this mode to at least make it more interesting for the single-player people. Like, have pre-built courses with different, like, modifiers. Maybe make it so that there were, like, bonus characters you couldn't get in the normal game. Because, you know, it's a co-op mode with a unique focus. You could have done something a little bit extra, with a little bit of extra uniqueness with it. I hate these bastards, because you can't come at them from front on. You have to get them from behind, or you have to jump on top of them, which, you know, isn't really my style. I'm not going to say it's a bad game, it's just relatively lightweight, and there could have been a lot more done with the single-player content, but unfortunately they chose not to. Why? I don't know. Ow. It just would have been nice. I can imagine this would be a blast playing with friends, but they don't even include, like, AI bots. And they can do AI bots, because there are, like, defense levels where human-like AI actually do come in and start fighting you for a bit. So they probably could have done they probably could have done bot AI for the versus mode if they tried. But they just, again, they chose not to. It just seems a little bit conspicuous to me, personally. And you mainly just left fighting relatively simple, but admittedly quite difficult to deal with at times AI. See, they can actually deflect your fucking arrows, which really annoys me. Need to get my other arrow back. There we go. It is a really nice game. It's just, yeah. If you're playing single player, it's not recommended you buy it at full price. If you got it on PlayStation Plus just because you could, you do get this for free. It's just, yeah. Probably not recommended you go for the Dark World expansion if you don't have anyone else to play with. I don't really know what that translucent, I should say, mirror does. It's weird. So here's one of the, well, it's not exactly the top of the walk, but hey, you wouldn't be a bad co-op AI. Like, imagine being able to take 4 people in and then just, you know, firing away, but there we go. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a shame that the game doesn't really have too much in the way of single-player stuff when it really, really could have done pretty well if it just put a little bit of extra effort into it. Ow! Thankfully, when you respawn, you explode. And when you explode, you take a bunch of the bastards with you if they're close enough. Yeah, see, the game just froze there. Like, I don't even know what caused that. It just tends to stop for some reason. I imagine if that happened in the middle of an ad hoc game, the game would, like, desync, which is not very good. I've got to get my arrows back, because something bad's about to happen. Ow! Oh well, I got some extra arrows. These will do. So yeah, TowerFall Ascension. Control's great, mostly runs fine. Some weird performance issues that only tend to show up randomly. And it's a fun game, it just doesn't have much in the way of single-player stuff. So yeah, only get it if you've got a couple of other people to play ad hoc with, because if you don't, well, you're going to be a bit bored a bit quickly, I'll tell you that much. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.